Houston, we have a big problem as the Texans drop to 7-5, lose to their division rival Tennessee Titans. Final score was 32-27, but the sophomore slump continues for CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. I know it's a bit crazy to say, but honestly, I expected this season. It's been worse than expected, but 9-8 last year. You win a playoff game with a rookie quarterback and rookie head coach. It's kind of hard to replicate that season. But today we're going to talk about why things have gone so poorly this season. The defense, the O-line, the one-score games. We're going to mention all of it and how the Texans bounce back. But first, if you would hit that subscribe button, we're dropping Texans news all season long. Texans Digest. But first topic, the Tennessee Titans. Titans-Texans, that was a weird game. And I guess you kind of expect it, considering the fact that we are a team that always plays the Titans closely, right? Last year we swept them. Luckily, because we always tend to split with them, or there's a game that it's like this close. We should never be in games with the Titans, but we always are. And the fact that this team had 8 sacks, a pick 6, 2 fumble recoveries, and you can't capitalize. Not to mention the missed field goal, right? Kaimi Fairbairn, 28 yards. After he made history with a 50-yarder that gave him 12 50-plus yard field goals for a record, he missed a 28-yarder. So it happens, but this game shouldn't even came down to Fairbairn. The penalty for illegal motion with the receiver in motion that called back the Nico Collins touchdown, that was big. But the main thing to take away from me from this game is the fact that the offense is bad. It's very bad. Not to mention the penalties with Laremy Tunsil having 17. He has 17 penalties this season. 17. We're only through 12 games. That's over 1 a game. That's ridiculous. So, the penalties, big problem for holding. The false starts, the ineligible, it's everything. But back to the main thing here, the defense didn't help, right? I'll go on a quick rant with the fact that this team, the secondary, they couldn't contain anybody. Calvin Ridley, walk him down the field. He walked all over everybody. Crazy. He had that big play in the first half. Chig Okonkwo ran a crossing route across the middle of the field. 70-yard touchdown. Are we serious? And then to top it everything off, we couldn't stop the run game. And that's where I can come down to, right? Okay, the defense did not play well. But the offense, they didn't show up either. The defense had the pick 6. When I say defense, I mean the secondary, right? The defensive front has been solid all year long. But we're playing the Titans. We're talking about the Titans. They haven't done anything all season. So, in terms of the offense, Joe Mixon had 22 yards rushing. You can't have that. So, it was just a one thing after the next, the bad thing after another. That was just the recap of the Titans game. I don't want to talk about it anymore because it was just a raging headache for me on Sunday. But let's get into the next topic. The one-score games for the Texans have been very bad. You look at, we've won every game besides 2. We blew out the Patriots like we should have, and then we blew out the Cowboys like we should. But like every game this year has been a barn burner. But like, why? There's no need for this, right? This is the problem. Well, it's actually not even a problem. But when you look at the games now, just get to the playoffs. The Colts are they're the next team up. It's not like this division is very difficult, right? You look at the fact that the Texans, the one-score games have been a huge problem. But the biggest thing is that the Texans are they should easily win this division. There's no reason why the Texans should lose. Right? The Colts. We mentioned it. But the 5-6 record, you got to be kidding me. How? It's 5-7, excuse me. But like, Colts are not good either. And they're 2 games back from the division. So if you keep playing this poorly, you're just going to give the division to the Colts. And if the Colts get in the playoffs, oh my goodness. And the reason I'm saying this is, if the Texans get into the playoffs, all they have to do is worry about the postseason. Right? That's all they have to do, not to mention the penalties. But it's just been a crazy, wild season. And every game I watch for the Texans, it's just infuriating. Offensive line, bad. I mean, it's been bad. All of it's been bad. But the offensive line has been bad as well. I brought up the penalties. Laremy Tunsil, and it's not a 1-year thing. 17 penalties through 12 games is ridiculous, first off. But last year, 10 penalties. The year before, 7 or 11, 7th in the league. But you can't have double-digit penalties numbers every year. I understand the sack number's low, but you can't let Tunsil holds. He false starts. Everything has been so bad, and it just, oh my gosh, it's just been ridiculous, man. C.J. Stroud, second most sacked quarterback in the league. Stroud blaming himself. He's taking so much accountability for himself that I believe in this guy so much. And this is where I'm getting at. The playoffs. If we want to make the playoffs, this will be crucial. Now Jalen Pitre's out, so we are screwed there. I'll make a video on it later. But there's just so much going wrong in the secondary. I don't know what happened in a year with DeMeco Ryans to where he can't figure it out on defense, but it's been bad. The secondary has been bad. The linebacking core has stepped up. Henry 2-0-2-0, very well. Christian Harris has been out most of the season. Azeez Al-Shaair, solid. You have DeMeco Autry back from the suspension. So everything seems to be shaping out. But my point here is Stroud takes accountability. You have the defense. If the defense can figure it out secondary-wise, they've had the stats. But now can you figure it out late in the season? You're not defined on the regular season of how you play. The Chiefs right now, not the most impressive regular season. The Texans, very not impressive at all. But a 7-5 record, atop of the AFC South, you should win that division. It all matters when you get to the playoffs. Can you make adjustments? Can you bounce back in the second half of the season? Meaning a couple good games. If you could beat the Chiefs or the Ravens, then you can prove to me, hey, this team can still be a Super Bowl contender. And as crazy as that sounds, I believe this team can still be a contender for the Super Bowl if they figure it out at the right time. Obviously, right now, it looks misery. But they can easily figure it out along the stretch. You saw the Chiefs last year, kind of wishy-washy. They picked it up in the playoffs, won a Super Bowl. And the history with sophomore quarterback, I'm going to make a video on why I think the Texans have a shot at the Super Bowl. That's a separate video. But I just had to get my frustration out on this team. It's been such a weird season, but at the same time, you kind of expect it because of how great the team was last year. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Check out some future videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.